And welcome to the Alderson's Awards West postgame show. For trophies, awards, t-shirts, and so much more, go to aldersons.net for their full catalog. Emerald Ridge with a 51-35 victory over Rogers, but it's like I mentioned towards the end of the fourth quarter, that score doesn't really do it justice. Rogers pulled to within one possession in the third quarter, and it was there for the taking for a little bit. And Rogers, even when Emerald Ridge was able to regather the lead back up to multiple possessions, boy, Rogers, they really hung in there tough, and it goes down as a 16-point victory for Emerald Ridge, but it really felt like a lot closer than that. Emerald Ridge really had to work for this one, and the Jaguars improve now to 14-3 overall, 12-1 in SPSL North play. Sumner, we don't have a final result there, but Sumner is at the top of the SPSL North as well. Again, Emerald Ridge and Sumner on Thursday the 30th. That should be a tremendous battle to see who will win the SPSL North, as both of those teams are looking to advance through the SPSL Girls Tournament, and then, of course, through the district tournament as well. Both teams with their eyes set on making it to the Tacoma Dome for the state tournament. Let's take a look at the leading scorers tonight for Emerald Ridge. They were led by Raymaya Jackson, who had 20 points. Jariah McGriff had 10 points as well. Nalayla Kamek had 8 points. So did Sanaya Fair. 2 points for Sonoria Norse, and Malia Barrage had 3 points. On the other side for Rogers, 11 points for Rowan DeForest. She was the lone ram in double figures. Elaine Pilcher had 8 points. Zaylin Paranata had 7 points. Kelsey Pettit had 3. Ellie Jordan had 4, and Caitlin Gage had 2 points. Emerald Ridge, they saved their best scoring quarter for the last, where they had 18 points. Rogers did as well, but unfortunately for the Rams, they only had 12 as they end up falling short. But probably the turning point was that second quarter, where Emerald Ridge outscored Rogers 13-6 and had a 9-point lead at the half. But again, in the third quarter, Rogers came out firing, but Emerald Ridge, like all great teams do, they handled adversity very nicely, and they were able to overcome what Rogers threw at them to get the 16-point victory. Let's hand out our game MVP, which is brought to you by our friends at the Thorbeck's Wellness Centers. Strong today, stronger tomorrow, strongest together at Thorbeck's. Well, it's got to go to Raymaya Jackson, who, the sophomore, had 20 points, 4 threes, had that buzzer-beating 3 at the end of the third quarter. That really seemed to give Emerald Ridge all the momentum that they need, and that helped them push over the edge. And without her, this game is a completely different ball game when you consider the fact that Savannah so fouled out. Now, Layla Kamek was in foul trouble, Sanaya Fair was in foul trouble, and Jackson really helped carry that offense for Emerald Ridge. Had a couple of big threes in the second quarter, too. She was outstanding all night. Hard to look away from Raymaya Jackson being our game MVP. So let's take a look at how the regular season comes to a close for both of these teams. Again, Emerald Ridge, they go at Puyallup on Friday. They go at South Kitsap on Tuesday before the big matchup against Sumner on Thursday, which will be right here at Emerald Ridge High School. Rogers, they host Curtis on Friday, then they host Puyallup on Tuesday before they travel to South Kitsap next Thursday. That is how their regular season will come to a close. There will then be the SPSL tournament. That will take place on the 5th and the 8th. And then the District 3-4-4A girls basketball tournament tips off on February 13th. And that should be one of the best tournaments across the state in both boys and girls basketball in all classes. That is an absolutely loaded district, and it should be a tremendous one to watch. And hopefully we will be able to cover a lot of those games, because it will be a fun one to watch. Hopefully you can join us for our other broadcasts later on this week. We've got state cheer coming up on Friday and Saturday, as we are handing out state championship trophies already for the winter months. And then we'll have more basketball coverage to come. Head over to EliSportsNetwork.com for our game recaps, video highlights, and our broadcast schedule. As basketball season, we are in the thick of it now. Should be a fun way to close out January as we get into the postseason. So that will do it for us. Thanks to everyone at Emerald Ridge who helped get us set up, and we really appreciate them. And, of course, Jesse Case, the athletic director, we really appreciate all of his work. So for my great camera woman, Kelsey Hergert, I'm Tyler Hergert signing off as Emerald Ridge gets a big victory over Rogers, 51-35. And we hope to see you next time on the Eli Sports and NFHS networks. Hope you have a great and safe evening.